3, 2, 1.
When I first started playing TagPro around this time last year, it seemed similar to a lot of other web games I've played. You control a ball using the arrow keys in a 4 versus 4 game of Capture the Flag. At first I couldn't see the appeal. Your ball accelerates so slowly, and even top speed felt sluggish. The rules of the game were pretty simple. Normally, your ball could not be popped. However, there are spikes to watch out for. If you grab the flag from the opposing team's base, you can be popped if the enemy collides with you. In fact, it is the goal of the other team to pop you before you get back to the flag in your base. If you do get back to the base with the other team's flag, and they haven't grabbed your flag, you score a point. But if the opposing player is holding the flag, you can't score yet, and you must roll around until your teammates pop them. It all seemed pretty frustrating. Fairly early on, I realized how important power-ups were. There are 3 types of power-ups that greatly increase your chance of scoring a point. Juke Juice, which gives your ball more acceleration. The Rolling Bomb, which causes other players' balls to get flung away when they come in contact with you. This is particularly helpful if you're carrying the flag, since it gives you an extra life before popping. And the TagPro, where the game gets its name, which allows you to pop any of the other team's balls, regardless if they're holding the flag. Each power-up lasts 20 seconds, except the Rolling Bomb, which is single use, and the power-ups respawn a minute after being grabbed. There are also boosts, which spawn every 10 seconds, and bombs, which spawn every 30. These allow the player to launch much faster than normal movement. For a long time, at least a month, I sucked, which was unfortunate because I was already hooked. See, as soon as a game ends, you get placed into another random game on a random map right after. The flow is unbroken, and it's so easy to lose track of a couple hours. While the elements and concept of the game seem fairly simple, the actual gameplay is much more complex, and I realized the learning curve of the game was steeper than I thought. Though I was getting the precision of the game down, I could launch off a boost at about the same angle every time. My random team would lose a lot more than win. If I was playing defense, other players would grab the flag out from under me constantly. If I went across the map to grab their flag, I would immediately get popped. I didn't know it at the time, but other players were actually anticipating my movements before I would make them. And since they understood how to position themselves on any given map, they could score a point, a capture, or return the flag with ease. Slowly but surely, I learned the game, both by watching how better players did things and learning what worked for me. I started to anticipate other players' movements and cause them to overcommit while they were chasing me. We call this juking, to steal a term from other sports, and it became my sole mission to juke the most experienced players in the game. I was becoming even more precise with my boosts and bombs, and I could return other flag carriers by boosting or bombing into them. We call this a snipe. I learned the layouts of all the maps and how to use every boost, bomb, and power-up to my advantage. I could navigate the spikes on Star, and I could use the super boost on Danger Zone. Developing your individual skills is essential to becoming better at this game, but it's actually even more important to learn how to work as a team and communicate effectively. You can type messages to your team while playing to let them know where the enemy flag carrier is headed, for example. This was improved by a programmer named Stepan, who wrote a user script for the game which allowed players to create keyboard shortcuts for common messages, such as flag carrier is headed bottom right. Many players would write their own pieces of code that would change the interface of the game and post them for anyone to use. This was further improved when the original programmer of TagPro, Lucky Spammer, created a channel on the voice chat application Mumble. TagPro had become multi-platform in a sense. Now teams could communicate with their voice much faster than typing. These games were naturally more competitive than public matches.
I didn't hear he was out, sorry.
He's going back middle. Wow, he's boosting.
We got.
While there were already leagues such as Major League TagPro and European League TagPro, voice chat ramped up the teamwork aspect of the game and made these leagues much more intense and exciting. The increase in players also brought attention to these leagues, and a few players began streaming the games on Twitch with live commentary.
And they finally pick it up. Just not. Wow!
Crossfield snipe.
Ibis with the crossfield snipe, and here we go. Can they get Gem? They do, and Rough Justice has.
The thing that separates TagPro from other web games is the community. There are a handful of players that I learned the game with who I still play with almost every day. Once Mumble was introduced, we would meet up on there, and for the first time I heard the voices of my good friends. Since I started playing, I've logged almost 600 hours of gameplay and over 8,000 public games, which doesn't include the time I've spent playing pickup games or in group chat. I decided to go for my weekly leaderboard flare, and I played for about 12 hours a day for a week. I've taken a week or two off here and there, but for the most part I play every day. And many times I've asked myself, is this just a giant time suck? I'm sure I could be doing something more productive with my time, but the truth is I have a love for this game, and the people I've played with are more than just internet friends. They are friends and teammates, and their competitive nature fuels my own. I don't have too much time to think about it though, because the next game is always about to start.
3, 2, 1.